Wait, who are you? It's me, Liz. Liz. Doesn't ring a bell. You don't remember me? Can't say that I do. Come on, it hasn't been that long. I think I've heard of Liz. I always thought she was just a myth. Okay, it's been a little while. Let's move on. Wait, what comes next here? Oh yeah, that intro thingy, right? That's the one. Excellent. It's all coming back to me now. Just like riding a bike. Okay, well, hopefully not quite like that. Anyway, admittedly, it has been approximately 9 million years since I last made a video, but I have an excuse. My dog ate my videos. Just kidding. Actually, my excuse is even more forgivable than calamitous canine consumption. I just completed my first year of teaching. Teaching. Yeah. I was teaching world history, IB history, and pre-calculus to seniors at an all-girls Catholic high school. And I probably averaged about 80+ hours a week of work time between teaching, planning, and grading. But now I have my summer off and all sorts of glorious free time. So I thought for my first video back, I would list my top 10 favorite things about my first year of teaching. Number 10, my classroom. I had a blast planning the setup and decorations of my room, trying to create the ultimate educational environment. Some of my favorite aspects of my classroom setup included positioning the chairs in a giant circle rather than rows to facilitate whole class discussion, and a chalkboard dedicated to thought-provoking quotations. I stole that idea from my high school English teacher slash cross-country coach slash partner in onion ice cream making culinary crime. My other favorite aspects of my classroom are so exciting that they get their own entry in my top 10 list. Number 9, maps and timelines. I inherited a super exciting map stand with various historical maps from ancient civilizations through the Cold War, and I had no fewer than 4 different timelines on my wall, including one I made myself that was 80 feet long and encompassed the entire history of planet Earth, in order to demonstrate to my students that the time period we were actually covering in our so-called world history class took up less than a hair's breadth on a timeline that took up 3 walls of our classroom. Number 8, the school character. The great thing about the school where I was teaching is that it encouraged values such as open-mindedness, acceptance, playfulness, individuality, passion for learning, and thinking for yourself. The faculty really modeled this, and the students internalized it and enacted it themselves in a lot of amazing ways. Number 7, learning stuff. Most of the math I was teaching was pretty familiar, but some of the history, especially for the IB class, which was pretty intensive, was stuff I had never learned in as much depth as I would need to know in order to teach it. So I spent a lot of time doing reading and research to try to stay a step ahead of the students and to anticipate any questions that might come up in class. Number 6, the challenge of finding the best ways to teach things. Once I had learned about or refreshed my memory of the topic for an upcoming class, the next step of my process was to ask myself what was the best way to convey whatever understanding it was that I was trying to communicate. Whenever possible, I tried to use hands-on games, projects, and activities that would impart not just an intellectual awareness, but an understanding of the topic on a deeper level. For example, we reenacted World War I with plastic soldiers on a map of Europe that I had taped off on the classroom floor. Turns out Easter eggs make for pretty effective aerial bomb simulators. Number 5, tutoring. I spent a fair bit of time doing one-on-one tutoring for the math class. I especially love those epiphany moments when a student realizes that something that they've been struggling with is actually pretty easy once they understand it. Number 4, secretly sneaking anthropological concepts and perspectives into my class whenever possible. The great thing about history is that this is pretty easy to do. I was way more interested in students identifying cultural patterns and understanding why things happen in a given way at a certain time and place, rather than just memorizing specific names, dates, and places. Number 3, my fellow faculty. Oh my goodness gracious, I cannot rave about these people enough. It was a true delight working with a team of passionate, dedicated, energetic, caring, and hilarious teachers and administrators at the school. They were so supportive of me as I navigated my first year, and I miss them pretty much daily since school got out. Number 2, games. As you might imagine, if there was a possible way to turn something into a game, I found it. I had games about artifacts, the Middle Ages, the Incan Empire, function, the Civil Rights Movement, the Cold War, the Civil War, World War I, exponents, the Byzantine Empire, early Russian history, logarithms, early American cultures, Indo-European languages, radians, Renaissance painting, Alexander the Great, the Industrial Revolution, trigonometry, ancient Greece, the origins of Islam, Joseph Stalin, and capitalism. I'm planning to create a website explaining the details of the games I invented so that other teachers can use them. They could also be used to liven up super nerdy parties. And finally, my favorite part about my first year of teaching was basically any time any student demonstrated an excitement about learning. There are about a million other stories I could share about what made the past year amazing and rewarding and generally life-changing. But I'll have to leave it there for now. See you soon!